Shame. 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 Hey everyone, and welcome back to the VSO Gun Channel. I wasn't originally going to make this video today. I was going to talk about something completely different, but I've learned some information that has absolutely ticked me off. So we're going to talk about this here today. And what we're talking about is the NRA Annual meeting and why I will not be attending it. I put a poll out yesterday over this. We're going to go ahead and go over the results of that poll right this second, just an icebreaker. It was the announcement that I won't be attending, why I won't be attending, and the choices were the NRA is dead to me, disband it, you should forgive the NRA, and who. 85% of you said the NRA is dead to me, disband it, followed by 11% who said who, and then 4% of you believe that I should forgive the NRA. And by and large, the sentiment of people who are wishy-washy or pro-NRA are like, well, they got rid of Wayne. What's wrong with you? Let's refer to what I said last year around this time. Number one, Wayne LaPierre is not only immediately fired, but is stripped of any investments and benefits within the organization. Dude got a pension? No, you out of here. Is that what happened? No, that's not what happened. But for the sake of posterity, I'll give them half a point. But there were two other demands that I made. Number two, the executive position within the organization is either eliminated or neutered to the point of becoming an actuarial position, ceding most of its power to the board of directors. That definitely has not happened. And then number three, the organization must undertake and win a major case challenging some aspect of the National Firearms Act. The saying is, that's not on their radar screen. The NRA's radar is not capable of detecting such things. This organization is so slow that if we look at like the pistol brace situation, organizations like FPC had injunctions in place before the NRA even filed. They let everybody else do their work for them, and then when they think that they're going to get a win out of it, they jump on it. That's how the NRA operates today. Well, Kurt, they're a lightning rod for all the bad stuff. Yeah, that's about all that they're good for these days. The low information people that can't string a couple neurons together to really come up with any kind of coherency in their arguments, they're the people who be like, the NRA is bad. Yeah, that's fine. Take some heat off of the more nimble organizations that are actually out there on the ground doing the work. To be clear, I'm not trying to cast shade on anybody who is supporting the National Rifle Association by attending their event, and I said it exactly that way on purpose because that's what they are doing. I'm not trying to impugn anybody for making good financial business decisions. I take a hit every year by not going to the event. And I said this in my post, and people were like, well, how does it negatively impact you financially? Well, first, missed business opportunities. So the business that I would have booked through meetings that I would have had at the event, going to miss out on that. But I could make that up by going to another trade show if I wanted to. In fact, I'm going to GunCon in a couple weeks, and I'll make it up then. That could be my mid-year show. To be more direct, I've turned down $10,000 or $15,000 worth of booth appearances just by nature of saying, nope, not going. So don't get me wrong. People who are attending are absolutely supporting the National Rifle Association by being visible at the event and things like that. However, I don't begrudge them for doing that. And that's one of the reasons that there isn't a sponsor on today's video. This video is brought to you by me. If you want to support the channel, then there are ways to do that directly, as well as the affiliates page you guys hear me talk about all the time. Purchases made with those codes generate commissions to the channel. So if you want to support the channel, you can do so directly or doing it that way if you're shopping for something that you're going to buy anyway. I am so serious about this, I even put it in my post. The NRA could call me on this phone right here, right now, while on air, and offer me $100,000 to walk into their event, and my butt would sit right here. The NRA has, for the last several decades, not been the protector of the Second Amendment. They have been the overpaid auctioneer that has been helping to peddle away those rights, which brings me to the whole reason that I decided to make this video today because I've said all of this stuff up to this point before. The whole concept that Donald Trump is not only invited to speak at the NRA annual meeting, but is the keynote speaker of the 2024 NRA annual meeting tells you everything that you need to know. I don't care whether you plan to vote for the dude or not, whether you think the dude should be the president of the United States or not. All of that is irrelevant. What is relevant, my phone, not yours, sorry, that was the NRA. They said the best that they could do is 90. No, I'm just kidding. That was FedEx. I've got a package coming. I was in the room when the man promised that the war on the Second Amendment was over. But the reality of the situation is that he doesn't really know fuck all about guns. Doesn't care a shit about your Second Amendment rights. And that is exemplified by his actions in office to trample on your Second Amendment rights. And that executive overreach that he perpetrated when he was in office, authored by the NRA, which he admitted to on national television, has been used by the current administration to do things like the pistol brace ban, the frame and receiver redefinition, and the one that's about to take effect here next week is you can't sell any of your private collection anymore without becoming a dealer, obtaining a federal firearms license. All by the executive actions of his administration to say, I don't really like bump stops. I'm going to ban them because they're bad. That stuff is still being litigated. To be 100% clear, the stuff that's been done to the man, not okay. If you're a supporter of his, he's your dude. No problems for me. You do you. However, the fact that he is the keynote speaker of the NRA annual meeting this year tells us three things. One about him and two about the NRA. Him, it's an election year. He's here to pander to the low information people on quote unquote our side of the aisle that think the NRA is there to do good. He's going to say some flowery crap and all of it's going to be a whole bunch of baloney. It's going to be less worthless than baloney. What it tells us about the NRA is that they're all but admitting that they were complicit in that whole fiasco with the bump stocks a couple years ago, and that they are so irrelevant that they are trying to latch on to any source of relevancy that they can find, and this is how they've identified it. I am almost certain that I am going to be obligated to make a video debunking some of the lies that are going to be disseminated from that speech. But also in line with that obligation is the requirement that I shine a light on not only the people who are perpetrating those or have perpetrated those evils on us in the past, but the apparatus that allows it to continue, which is the National Rifle Association. And it's just a small effort on my part to combat the forces within that work against us, but it does absolutely have an impact. Members of my family that have been longtime staunch NRA supporters have stopped contributing in recent years. And I know that many of you have also relinquished any kind of affiliation with the National Rifle Association. Change will not happen unless we continue to put the screws to them. This call for unity crap, you don't make friends with traitors. Disband the NRA is perhaps a little bit strong for some folks. The organization needs to be torn down to a level so that it can be rebuilt, because I would really like a strong National Rifle Association, but we aren't going to get it until we purge the corruption, not only monetary corruption, but the corruption within that makes these backdoor deals with people like Donald Trump to sell our rights for political influence. And that's all I got for today. So if you're going to that thing, shame on you, but I understand why. Shame. 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 Shame.